गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत श्रील गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विरत गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंद श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री चैतन्य शिक्षाष्टक की जय। जय श्री सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। जय श्री श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोसाई पाद की जय। श्री चैतन्य चरितमृत की जय। जय श्री the Sanmodan Bhashya of Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur ki jai. The Vivritti of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. All the commentaries of all our Guru Varga ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All right, we'll do the Mangala Charan and then I'll see who's all here. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धांत सरस्वती विदितो गौरीय गौरवन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभात गगने यो गौरसंकीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलो दरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवानिमान् कृष्ण प्रेम सुधाब्दिगाहन सुखां प्रादात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वंदे भक्ति विनोदं श्री गौरशक्ति स्वरूपकं भक्ति शास्त्रज्ञ सम्राजं राधारस सुधानिधिं श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतं मुरलीकलगीतविनोरपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुं स्मर गौरगदाधर केलिकलं भव गौरगदाधर पक्षचर शृणु गौरगदाधर चारुकथं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुं तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय देवी त्वं नायमं चरणान्तिकम् भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्षाय क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Shri Saruparaya Sangharsha Shesha Ghoshanam Shikshanashtakakya Krishna Kirtanaika Poshanam Prema Nama Matra Vishva Jivanaika Sambharam Prema Dhama Devam Eva Nomi Gora Sundaram Premodbhavita Harsheryoddvega Dainyarti Mishritam Lapitam Gorachandrasya Bhagyavarbhir Prabhur Shikshashtak Shloka Jay Pore Shune Krishne Prema Bhakti Tar Bare Dine Dine. Whoever reads or hears the Lord's Shikshashtak verses, for that person, their Prem Bhakti for Krishna increases day by day. Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Let's see who's here. Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji, and Rukmini Didi. Dandavat Pranams. And let's see who is on YouTube and Facebook. I see Champak Mataji, and I don't see any other comments, but it's probably because I joined this restream thing a bit late. So I'm guessing Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, and all other devotees like that. And also pranams to all devotees watching in the future. Haribol. So I've never started a program this late before. Today will be an extra short program. Yeah, how much time do we have to read? We have 35 minutes to read. So we're finally continuing our Shikshashtak program, and we will read the some more explanations of the first verse from my Śrīla Gurudev. Nityalila Pravishta Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Yeah. And I still haven't looked through his classes for his explanations. I just looked through the books. So let's see, maybe I can find a lot more, and then maybe we'll have 3 days of reading my Gurudev's purports on this first verse of Shikshashtakam. Let's see. I'll look today. But usually we begin our program by singing one of the Shikshashtakam songs or by reciting that chapter from Chaitanya Charitamrita. The last chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But since we're starting so late today, I think we'll just recite the verses. Yeah, let's just recite the verses today. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahatavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam Vidyavadhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam Purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam namakari bahudha nija sarva shaktis Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala Etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaiva midrishamiha janina nuraga. Trinarapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari na dhanang na janang na sundaring kavitang va jagarisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatar bhaktir ahaituki tvayi ainandatanuja kinkarang patitang mam vishame bhavam budho kripaya tava para pankaja stitadhuli sadrisham vichintaya nayanam galarashudharaya vadanam gadkadarudaya gira pulakairnichitang vapukada tava nama grahane bhavishyati yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishayitam Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashlisha Pararatam Pinashtumam Adarshanan Marma Hatam Kurotu Va Yatha Tatha Va Vidadhatulam Pato Mat Prananatastu Saeva Napara Jai Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka Ki Jai. Okay, so the first thing we're going to read is an excerpt from my Srila Gurudev's book, Nectar of Govinda Lila, Chapter 5, Nishanta Bhajan. And 1 second, let me just... Oh, no. Hare Krishna, Gagrajji. Oh, and I saw Gagrajji, it was your birthday yesterday. I didn't notice until later, so I hope you have a very auspicious year. Haribol. Okay, so if one goes to an unclean place, he will not be able to absorb his mind in spiritual topics by any means. But if he sits in a pure place, like Seva Kunj, then very easily he will be able to meditate. There we can discuss these high spiritual topics. But if we go and sit in an unsuitable place, will we be able to discuss things like Radhika's Nishanta Lila? Never. And like what I've heard from my Gurudev before, also there's and this is just a common principle, right? We know there's where you are situated physically, but also where you are mentally. And so I've been in near Radhakund for the past few days, but because my mind wasn't in the best place, I'm having a very difficult time focusing when I'm chanting, when I'm doing like that. And so physically, I'm in the topmost place, but very important is also where you are mentally. So therefore, there are so many sadhans, and in all of them, there is such consideration. But in the chanting of the holy name, there is no such consideration of time or place. While eating, lying down, with unclean hands and mouth, or in whatever condition, one can chant Harinam. Suppose someone has become disabled and is unable to sit up. For him, will a rule be imposed that he must sit up to chant Harinam and that he cannot chant while lying down? Suppose someone is in a latrine suffering from vomiting and diarrhea. In that condition, he won't be able to practice meditation, perform austerities, do yoga, or anything. Seeing his helpless condition, will we say that he cannot chant the holy name then? And that instead, someone will have to come and chant in his ear, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Ram? Even in that condition, the result will come from chanting. Whereas from any other sadhan, there would be no benefit. Therefore, first making faith in the holy name arise in someone is Nishanta Bhajan. And concerning this, Mahaprabhu said, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva nasteva, nastevya gatiranyata. There is no other way but chanting of the holy name. But one thing is essential. From where do we hear the glories of the holy name? From the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas. Without first attaining sadhu sangha, one will not be able to chant the holy name. And even if he does chant, what kind of nam he is chanting will be questionable. The nam that we have received from the Guru is like a strong seed. From a strong seed, a healthy plant will emerge, but a weak seed will produce nothing. Similarly, the spiritual master gives us Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound vibration, and taking that Harinam will produce the fruit of Krishna Prem. But the weak seed, which is not Shabda Brahma, and which does not have the perfection inherent within it, will only produce the fruits of material enjoyment and liberation. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam praptipadam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. The first effect of the holy name is that it cleanses the mirror of the heart. The second effect is that it extinguishes the fire of misery in the forest of birth and death. The third effect is that, like the rays of the moon, it causes the flower of the living entity's ultimate good fortune to bloom. And the fourth effect is that it bestows the innermost transcendental knowledge, which is compared to a young bride. The fifth effect is that it increases the ocean of transcendental pleasure. The sixth effect is that it makes us taste the highest nectar at every step. And the seventh is that it thoroughly cools and purifies us inside and out. These are the 7 effects of chanting Harinam. And after this, it bestows prem, making 8. This gradual awakening, beginning with cleansing the mirror of the heart, is Nishanta Bhajan. After this, when one meditates with rasik bhav on the 8 parts of Shri Krishna's day, direct service to him is attained. So we know Nishanta is, Nisha means night and Anta means day. So we can take Nishanta to be referring to the end of the night of our material existence, right? And then the sun begins to rise and like that. So that's one way of looking at Nishanta Bhajan. So this is that's how the book Bhajan Rahasya starts with Nishanta Bhajan. But of course, as we know in Bhajan Rahasya, it explains for the Ajata Ruchi Sadak and the Jata Ruchi Sadak. So somebody who has no Ruchi yet, the beginning practitioner, and also all these stages, Nishanta Bhajan, is a completely different thing for somebody who has Ruchi. For somebody who has Ruchi, then all these different times of the day and all these verses of Chaito Darpanamarjanam is nourishing their meditation, their absorption in the 8-fold pastimes of Krishna's, like the pastimes throughout the 8 divisions of the day. So, all right. Now we are reading. This is Prabandhavali. Now this book is called A Treasury of Holy Days. So this is chapter 4 from that book. And I think this is a class that my Gurudev gave on Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's disappearance day, if I remember correctly.
So this is the end of the class, though. We are regularly hearing tattva from scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Brihad Bhagavatamrita. But how will others also get the opportunity to hear it? After hearing it, we should take it to many people. We should take it to many other people. And this is the duty of each and every one of us. Yes, we shouldn't just hoard everything that we hear, but we have to distribute it. With great love, we should take Harinam and encourage others to chant it. We should hear Siddhanta ourselves and then help others to understand it. That will give Prabhupada, he's referring to Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, great pleasure. To the very end of his life, Prabhupada said, "We are mere laborers. We are peons of Bhagavat Katha." He never made himself a permanent living situation in an opulent temple, but always kept moving. These days we do things a little differently, but we should always try to follow not only Prabhupada's philosophical conception, but the ideal he showed through his own behavior as well. These ideas serve as the very foundation of bhakti. And if this foundation is not established, then we will fall from hearing the higher levels of katha. We won't be able to understand it. We won't, just be purely analytical. For instance, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur has written a song entitled Vipa Bharishesha, which includes lines such as Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Nama Sudarasa Gao Krishna Jasha Rakho Vachana Manomora. Shri Krishna is the life of the Yamuna. He is always engaged in amorous pastimes, and he is the moon of the gopis' hearts. Sing the glories of he whose name is pure ras. O mind, always remember these words. In our mat, we sing this every day, and there's certainly some benefit in it. But do we understand the complete bhav contained within it? Nothing remains outside these lines, not the Ras Lila, not the Brahmar Git, not the Venu Git, nothing. Everything is there. And all of the previous lines of the song are similarly saturated with both Ras and Tattva. Pula Sharajoj Akakama. What is the meaning? The complete Kama Gayatri is there. Shara means arrow, an arrow of Kama, an arrow of desire, which Krishna places on his bow. How many of these arrows does Krishna have? 5. His sidelong glances and his eyebrows, his cheeks, nose, and smile. So tell me, is there anything remaining outside these lines? Helping the people of the world to understand these topics is the real task of the Guru Parampara, those who are conversant with the Ras, the Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. If we examine one line of the song after another, then for so many days, so many lectures could be given, and our hearts would become full of ras and divine bliss upon hearing their full meaning. So much bhav has been put into each word by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it is the same with the compositions of Narottam Thakur and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. To understand what our acharyas have given, great intelligence and bhav are required. And if we have such a bhav in our hearts, by which we can understand the poetry and the special characteristics of acharyas like Prabhupada, then wherever we may go, it will always remain with us. In explaining the line Parang Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam from the first verse of Mahaprabhu Śikṣāṣṭaka, Prabhupada wrote that this is the Gaudiya Mat's mode of worship. There are 3 stages: the beginning stage of sadhan, the intermediate stage of bhav, and the final attainment produced by that bhav, which is called prem. Sadhan is that practice by which Shuddha Sattva Bhav arises. And if it does not arise, what one is practicing cannot be called sadhan. We can all examine ourselves and see if we're practicing the sadhan that makes bhav arise or not. Are the symptoms there or not? We may not even have the proper aim in our sadhan. If someone is striking a match, what is his aim? To obtain a flame. And if after striking one match, a flame is not obtained, then he'll take another match and try again. Our endeavor to reach the sadhya, to attain the final attainment through the practice of sadhan, is like that. Kshur anuvritti, spiritual hunger; tushti, satisfaction; and pushti, strength. These 3 things should appear, and if they don't, then we are not really practicing sadhan and cannot be called real sadhaks. Whatever we do should be done with this vision. By performing this activity, bhav for Krishna will arise. Okay, whatever activity we do in our sadhan, it will only be called sadhan, will only be called sadhaks, if we're doing it with this vision, we're doing it with this intention that, okay, if I perform this activity, then bhav for Krishna will arise. And kshur anuvritti, tushti, and pushti should happen. There should be a hunger, and then tushti, then there will be satisfaction of the hunger, and then you'll get pushti, strength. But if these are not happening, then we're not sadhaks, we're not performing sadhan. Is the match producing a flame or not? If we see that our sadhan is producing attachment for material results, such as pratishta, then we are moving in the wrong direction. Therefore, we should understand this point well. The sole aim of kirtan is to make bhav arise. Such an important, this is how we do our self-assessment, especially on Akadashi time, but not just Akadashi, anytime. Yeah. Okay, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. In our practice of Nam Sankirtan, have our minds become purified or not? Are our minds going towards wealth, material enjoyment, and prestige? Do we consider material enjoyment to be poisonous or favorable to us? Material enjoyment is poison. Haridas Thakur was taking Harinam in a solitary place when a very beautiful woman approached him and said, "Prabhu, you will no longer have to cook for yourself. You won't have to fetch water, and I will also serve your tulsi plant. You can just chant Harinam all day, and I will perform all of your tasks. And if you become fatigued, I will massage your feet." But did Haridas Thakur accept her? All types of material enjoyment should be understood to be poison, whether one is a man or a woman. If we consider things like luxurious food and accommodation to be favorable to us, then the mirror of the mind will not be cleansed, and the reflection of one's own spiritual form will not be visible. The mirror should be made pure. There should be no dust or anything on it. We should be able to see what is our illusory body, what is our spiritual body, and what all of our faults are. But it is our great misfortune that instead, we only see others' faults. The first type of contamination affecting our minds is thinking that we are the material body. We are eternal servants of Krishna, but the most prevalent dust on the mirror of the mind is thinking that we are the material body. Endeavoring for the happiness of the body is dust on the mirror, or contamination in our minds. There are so many anarthas. There's Swarup Brahma, that's bewilderment concerning one's actual form and nature. And also the form and nature of Bhagavan and our relationship with him. It's understanding of what, So, and then there's Asat Trishna, the desire for temporary things. It's thirsty for the mundane, for the asat. Then there's Hriday Dorbalya, weakness of heart, and aparad, offenses. So these are 4 types of offenses. Besides these, described in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini are utsahamai, false confidence, ghanatarala, sporadic endeavor, vyuda vikalpa, indecision, vishaya sangara, combat with the senses, niyamakshama, inability to uphold vows, and taranga rangini, delighting in the material facilities produced by devotion. Then there are the 4 types of aparad. Also, these are another grouping of different types of anarthas that Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives in Madhurya Kadambini. So there's dushkritota, arising from previous sins, sukritota, arising from previous piety, aparadota, arising from offenses and chanting, and bhaktuta, arising from imperfect service. When all of these are eradicated, then our real selves, the Atma, will reflect in the mirror of the mind. But for now, our vision is distorted. We consider the pain and happiness of the material body to be our own, and our worldly relations and worldly loss and gain to be related to our very selves. Now the next, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. This is the forest fire of material existence in which we are time and again taking birth. When the mirror of the mind is purified, then this great fire will be extinguished, and we will progress along the path of sadhan for uttama bhakti, that devotion which is free from any tendencies towards karma or gyan. That devotion will be kleshagni. It will be that which burns away so many types of difficulties. It will not happen all at once, but gradually. First there's Shraddha, then Nishta, and then we will move towards Ruchi and Asakti, when our anarthas will have been mostly eradicated. However, those anarthas may still exist in root form. One may shave his head, but has even one hair completely disappeared? Its roots are still there, and hair will again appear after a couple of days. In the same way, when we have reached the stage of asakti, only the roots of anarthas will remain. Externally, they will not be visible. If a favorable environment is given to them, that is, if we keep bad company or offend a Vaishnav, then they will reappear. But upon reaching the stage of bhav, they will be finished forever. Then there's shubhada, which is of many varieties. In the worldly sense, shubha means having wealth, good progeny, position, fame, and knowledge, and keeping the body healthy so that the effects of old age will not come prematurely. But what is real shubha? Having ruchi for the name and lila katha of Bhagavan, and for the limbs of Bhagavad Bhajan sadhan. This is real shubha. Having eagerness for these things is shubha. And that shubha is the lotus flower described by the words Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. If the rays of the moon fall upon it, it will bloom purely, without blemishes. How will such pure bhakti arise in the heart? The Shakti of Harinam is like the rays of the moon, which make the lotus of the heart gradually bloom, taking it through the stages of Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, and Bhav. When it fully blossoms, That is a stage of prem. But for the Shakti of Harinam to act in this way, our interest must be drawn away from material life. In the same way as two swords will not remain together in one scabbard, Maya and Bhakti will not remain together in one's heart. Can't have both. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Nam Sankirtan is the very life of Vidya Vadu. Vidya is that by which we can know Jiva Tattva, Maya Tattva, and ultimately Krishna. It does not mean knowledge of mundane science. It does not mean knowledge of mundane science or how to make money. Real Vidya is bhakti, and ultimately assumes the form of the Vadhu, or consort of Krishna. First, there is sadhan bhakti, then bhav bhakti, and finally, prema bhakti. After entering prem bhakti, one's devotion develops through the stages of sneha, man, pranaya, raga, anurag, bhav, and finally, mahabhav. The embodiment of mahabhav is Srimati Radhika, who is the Vadhu, or consort of Krishna. Over and above the Sandhini Shakti, the Samvit and Hladini Shaktis fully manifest as Radha Bhav. This is Vidya Vadhu. And if even one ray of this transcendental potency enters into our hearts, it is called Bhav. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam. If we are chanting Harinam with this Bhav, then with every step, we will experience increasing Ananda, divine joy. In the Maha Mantra, there is Krishna Nam and also Hare, which means she who attracts Krishna away to the Kunj. That's Srimati Radhika. This bhav is so deep that it has no end. And this is the Nam, so saturated with ras, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought to this world. When we chant the Mahamantra with this bhav, then every step will submerge us deeper into the ocean of divine bliss. Now the next one is Purnamrita Swadanam. What is Purnamrita? What is the complete nectar? Prem. And one will perpetually relish it. Absorbed in chanting the name in this way, our acharyas such as Jayadeva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur could envision divine pastimes and compose such nectarian literatures. And then finally, the last one, this is number 7, Sarvatma Snapanam. One will never desire to resurface from that ocean of nectar where there's not even a trace of Maya, meaning that they have entered into Swarup Siddhi. This is the explanation of the first verse of Mahaprabhu's Śikṣāṣṭaka, given by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, whose return to Sri Krishna's eternal pastimes we are commemorating on this day. All right, so it is 5 minutes till 8. I don't think we have time to start a new section because this is quite long, this next section. So I think we'll stop here. And then we'll have one more day. I think tomorrow will be our last day of going through the first verse. And then we will begin, then we'll go through verse 2. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nijasarva Shaktis. All right. Well, since we have 5 minutes, maybe we can sing the this Śikṣāṣṭaka song. Let me just open it up again. By Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur. I don't have a mridanga with me, so I'll just sing it without any instruments. Okay, so Śrī Śikṣāṣṭaka, the 7 excellent results of Krishna Sankirtan. So this song is based on the first verse. The golden complexioned savior of the age of Kali, Shri Gaur Hari, sings as follows, overwhelmed with bhav. Apitavarana-kali pavana-gora gāvai aichana bhava vibhora chittadarpana pari marjana kari Krishna Kirtana Jai Chitta Bihari Hela Bhavadavane Vapana Vriti Krishna Kirtana Jai Klesha Nivriti Shreya Kumoda Vidu Jyotsna Prakasha Krishna Kirtana Jai Bhakti Vilasa Vishuddha Vidyavadu Jivana Rupa Krishna Kirtana Jai Siddha Swarupa Ananda Payonidhi Avardhana Kirti Krishna Kirtana Jai Plavana Murti Pode Pode Piyusha Swada Pradata Krishna Kirtana Jai Prema Vidhata Bhakti Vinora Bhakti Vinod Bhakti Vinora Swaptama Snapana Vidhana Krishna Kirtana Jai Prema Nidhana Pitavarana Kale Pavana Gora Gāvai Aichana Bhava Vibhora Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Jai, Shri Jai Sarva Sai Jai Shri Chaitanya Śikṣāṣṭaka ki Jai, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Jai Śrīla, all the commentaries of our Guru Varga ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Padadevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Sarveshwari Mataji, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Chattamai Mataji, and Champak Mataji, Kargarajji, Rohini Nandan Prabhu, Shash Sharmaji, Raseshwari Mataji, Indira Mataji, and all the other devotees watching. I'm guessing Ganga Mataji and all other devotees watching now, and also devotees watching in the future like Shachi Devi and Jaidev Prabhu. Dandavat Pranams. So tomorrow we will have, I think, our last reading. We'll see. If I find a lot more on the first verse of Śikṣāṣṭakam, then maybe we'll extend it a bit longer, but I think tomorrow will be our last reading. If anybody knows of any commentaries that I haven't seen yet, I haven't read yet, then please share with me. All right, so, yeah, Jai Shri Radhe. Oh, Sarveshwari Mataji, I'm just seeing your comment now. Am I in Radhakund? I am, yes. I just went to this morning. That's why I started the program late, because I just came back from Radhakund. So yeah, I'll be here until today's the 14th, and I'm leaving on the 19th. So I'll be here for another 5 days. Yeah. And I don't know, like I'm trying it out, staying here. I don't know if maybe I'll shift here in the future. I'm not sure. I'm very attached to Navadip though. But there's a chance that I might move here because the place where I'm in, like the place where I'm at in Navadip is temporary. We're not going to keep that place forever. And I'm not sure if I want to move into the new mott that they're going to build. And so this place right here could be permanent for me. So, but the thing is, I don't know. I really miss Navadvip, and so I don't know. But Radhakund is the topmost place, but it's also so high, and Navadvip's more forgiving. So I don't know. That's why I'm staying here. Is I'm just trying to see if I get any kind of indication from Gurudev or anything like that. So we'll see. All right. Dandavat pranams. Haribol. Oh, and Chattamai Mataji is asking who wrote the bhajan that we sing. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Thakur. He wrote, it's in his Gitavali. He wrote a song for every verse of Śikṣāṣṭakam. All right, Dandavat pranams. Haribol. See you all tomorrow.